On behalf of the Florida Park Service and Honeymoon Island, I would like to thank you for attending our program. It is the most adaptable species of our time. They went from wide open ranges to concentrated areas. They are used as an indicator species that told scientists chemicals are poisoning our waterways. This species is monogamous and is one of the most identifiable because of its markings. They are very powerful yet graceful. Have you seen them up and down our highways, in pine flatwoods, near our waterways? Or maybe you've heard them. What could possibly be so diverse and adaptable? The osprey. Ospreys were not always so plentiful, and their problems were many. They have had to contend with ancient prejudices against birds of prey, and they were used for target practice by so-called sportsmen. Ospreys became protected species in most states and were protected by the federal government. But in the 1950s, osprey were shot at state fish hatcheries and even on federal fish hatcheries. This practice was discontinued in the 1960s. And we must not forget about the Coast Guard. From 1965 to 1970, the Coast Guard would destroy nests, eggs, and young that were on buoys and channel markers. Osprey have been persecuted for years, whether it be for raiding fish hatcheries or living on channel markers. They have been evicted from their habitat, marshlands, pine flatwoods, by land developers. Their bodies have been poisoned by chemical pollutants so that they could not reproduce their kind. The food they need has been depleted by overfishing, so their young starve in the nest. Man must shoulder full blame for the osprey population crash. But this raptor of lake and sea has determined friends who and will continue to give them every chance for a successful comeback. First, what is an osprey? It is a bird of prey or raptor. They have a white head with a brown mask. This is the only hawk so patterned. White chest and belly. Females have a small brown band around their neck, a necklace. Males are all white. Wingspan 4.5 to 6 feet with a bend at the wrist. Adult ospreys stand 21 to 24 inches in height. Ospreys are not just a coastal bird. They can be found near ponds, lakes, rivers, streams, any place where fish are plentiful. Diet is mostly fish, hence the osprey are also known as the fish hawk. Osprey have excellent eyesight and powerful legs. They can hover 50 to 200 feet above the surface of the water and plunge, talons or feet first, to catch their prey. Ospreys are imprinted or biologically programmed. They will mate for life and reuse the same nest year after year. The chicks that fledge from an area will usually return to that area to build a nest of their own. Osprey reach sexual maturity at 3 to 4 years and will lay 1 to 3 buff and brown spotted eggs. The eggs will hatch in approximately 28 days. Osprey fledge at 8 weeks. Nesting season is from January to June. The nest is a bulky mass of twigs and beach debris. Very adaptable, can nest in both dead and live pines, telephone poles, man-made platforms, channel markers. Osprey are also an indicator species. In the 1960s, scientists determined the major decline in the population was due to a pesticide called DDT. The DDT would be sprayed on crops and runoff from the rain would enter the waterways. Fish would be contaminated and osprey would consume the fish. Osprey populations began to decline because of the pesticide effect created brittle and thin eggshells. Therefore, when the adult would try to incubate the egg would break. No young produced. Because of the decline of certain indicator species, such as the osprey, scientists determined the hazards and long-range effect of this pesticide. It was eventually banned. What threatens the osprey today? Loss of habitat. Raccoons. Plastic litter. And man. What is being done to help? Natural areas such as Honeymoon Island State Recreation Area provide and protect habitat for nesting. In 1987, the staff implemented an aggressive protection and monitoring program by placing steel bands around the tree with nest and cleaning vegetation from around the area. We have had a 100% success rate of keeping eggs-eating predators away from the nest. The results are, before the program was introduced, only 3 young were produced from an adult population of 25. From 1987 to the present, 37 young produced and 34 fledged. Through the commitment of the Florida Park Service and the staff at Honeymoon Island State Recreation Area, we will help to ensure this continuing success story of our osprey.